Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sup podcast. I am one of your hosts, Lawrence Deloach. And with me, I have my good guy, two guy co host. One of them is Chris Cheney.
What is this character? Hi, everybody.
Man, shut the fuck up and just say hello to the people.
Hey, guys. Hi.
Thank you. Jesus fucking Christ. And then the other person on the podcast is Luke Shodvisi.
Hello, Lawrence. Good to see you again.
Hey, very good to hear from both of you guys. I am excited about 2021. It is going to be a wonderful year for everyone involved. Let's continue to make more memories. And man, fuck that, yo. Just talk like a normal person. Yo, it's 2021. I'm excited, guys, to be here with you guys. New year, new stuff, new things to talk about. We're still in the pandemic, but let's just kind of like already get right into it, man. It was a rough 2020, but we got 2021 here. What do we want to see this year, man? Like, and not just from this podcast, but in general, whether it's sneaker copping, whatever. Talk to me, Luke. What do you want to see this year, bro?
Oh, I want to see. We already got the preview last year, but I really want to see the Nike Bayou Dunks. That's all I want to see this year. I want to be able to customize and figure out what kind of weird colorways I can use for some dunks. I'm down for it.
Well, just not to throw a monkey wrench in your plans, but if dunks were anything like 2020 and you think that you're going to be able to just willy-nilly create your own dunk in 2021 without it being a complete shit show, I'm glad.
Why are you shitting on my dreams already?
I'm not shitting on your dreams, bro. I'm just being a realist, yo. Dunks were so hard to obtain in 2020, and I see that, I feel like Nike's going to try to continue that trend in 2021. But I definitely agree with you. Let's make dunks more obtainable. Chris, what do you want to see in 2021, man?
A lot of brands had a lot of time to think during 2020 because there was a time where they couldn't move forward. A lot of projects, a lot of factory issues here and there. Can't even go outside. I want to see a lot of good storytelling this year. There's been enough gap in time where they were just sitting on their ass and just thinking about different projects here and there. I want them to all do what Concepts does with every major project they do and just do good execution, good packaging, and good storytelling. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's for a lot of releases. I definitely respect that, man. That was Concepts, Union. Those guys told a great story, even to a certain extent. Even though I didn't really like the final product, Bodega told a wonderful story with their stuff.
Yep.
What was it? Who did the New Balance collab?
ALD.
ALD.
Yes.
Yeah, they did some. Yeah, I think especially when you're referring to collaborations, I think that's a major thing. Great storytelling.
What do you think, Al? What do you want?
Honestly, there's two things I want, and hopefully, I get them. I want those. If that's going to be the final product of the Mars Yards 2.5s, even with the black toe. I want those, man. I learned my lesson last time 3 years ago from not copping when I should have, even at resale. I definitely want those for 2021. I need a Tom Sachs in my life. And the other thing I want to see is fucking Utopia, man. I want to see Trav drop Utopia, man. This was 2020. They said was the first year that he didn't drop a project.
Yeah, project.
So I'm as a guy who truly I enjoy Travis Scott's music and shit. I hope that we see less brand shilling out of him. A lot of brand hawking that he was doing in 2020, whether it was McDonald's or Fortnite. I know, it's a pandemic, so dudes is making their money, but I want to see more music from Trav.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Utopia. And I want to see more, I guess, Nike collabs with Trav, because we saw what he was working with New Year's Eve or a couple days ago.
Like the UNC version, I guess, of his dunk.
No, it was UNC Jordan 1, I believe. Jordan 1. Yeah, those Jordan 1s.
Yeah, but the reverse swoosh, those are his.
That's what I know. That's what I'm saying. They weren't a dunk. They were. It was a unreleased Jordan Low.
Oh yes, excuse me. Sorry, I misspoke. Yes.
So I mean, okay.
No, I just I mean, if this is going to be he's going to do this for a while if he's just going to hit all the major colorways, you know what I mean? So I think you're going to get exactly what you want, Lawrence.
Well, what I think also we're getting from Trav is we're just getting the that Nike realizes that Trav can pretty much any silhouette he touches, then people start kind of gravitating towards it, and we're seeing it again with the Jordan 1 low. I know he did Jordan 1 low last year for his I know, well, 2019, but
For the mochas, yeah.
for the for the mochas, but we're getting a Trav one. Oh, we may not even get it, but we're seeing a Travis Scott Jordan 1 low, and we know that people gravitate towards the highs, and even people are starting to people get excited about mids. I know they're not the most beautiful model or silhouette portion to me, but if we're getting Jordan 1 lows from Trav, then I'm excited. I'm here for it. We don't have Jerry Lorenzo on Nike, so Nike's got to continue to push the Trav model out in 2021. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
what do you guys thoughts on that? Seeing that.
I'm tired already, man.
Yeah, I'm Mary Luke. I'm like, cool, I guess.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, if like I said, like how I mentioned, like if they're just gonna hit like every major colorway, like I don't know like what exactly they're basing that off of, but it's it falls within that lineage of like UNC type of colors.
It's it's the Obsidian. It's based on the Obsidian Jordan 1s. Like if you look at those, they're like 1-to-1, I think. Hold on.
So like cool. I mean, like I think for people sort of like us who have more independent thoughts around like these types of things, like I think I mean, like you're looking more forward to it, which is like cool. I think maybe you probably want like other things though, right?
Oh yeah, I mean this is not. I mean that is far from a want. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's not like these are must have. I think there's other things that obviously I'm trying to not buy as many sneakers this year as I've done in the past 2-3 years, but once again those aren't I need to have those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. If I get my hands on them, I don't know. I think those are a feed a family pair.
Those are you get them and then you sell them so you can feed your family.
Yeah, feed a family pair. I feel like so like I said, like more people with us like more independent thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even a reseller like that. Like if I'm selling anything, it's on Poshmark used. You know what I mean? But like I'm looking at those like you like exactly what Luke said. If I get my hands on them, I'll feed my family.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I might if I get them. Realistically, I'll probably just try to trade them for Strange Loves from last year. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh man, the old Strange Love. Yeah, no, but I understand. I mean, but who's to say? I mean, we know how some, we see something like that, and who's to say we even get that pair or we get a pair? But I based on how Nike understands how Travis is a cash cow, and I'm sure that we're going to get some type of Travis Scott Jordan Nike collab in 2021. So I am here for it. I'm more here for Utopia, but let's hopefully let's move the needle and not talk about Trav as much, because only thing I want to hear from Trav is fucking music. That's it.
Well, why don't we move the needle to January 14th, I believe, which is Dunk Day. Speaking of dunks, we can have some regular dunks. There's like 5 coming out that day.
Mm-hmm.
All gonna sell like hotcakes.
Oh, yep.
I actually am kind of down with both of those highs. I mean, the fourth one, like the gray white one, I'm like on a solid tip of just wanting like one color sneakers now, which is crazy. But so
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it. Go.
For the listeners out there who aren't watching, there's 5 colorways. There's a UNC-ish colorway.
Yeah.
UNC white and UNC blue low. There's a UNLV low, which also they just did like a year and a half ago with the off-white dunks.
Right.
Then there's also a white and black colorway, which is very simplistic, very simple, very clean. Then we have 2 highs, which Chris, you want to help me out with these colors? Because you're more of they're white and gray, right?
Yeah, that one's just like a regular white and gray, and then the next one I would call like a vintage cream and blue.
Yeah, it looks like a light purple, kind of what Supreme would call a light purple, maybe, or like
Yeah.
and a cream. I like those. I like the light cream and purple ones.
I think the black and white one is probably going to be like the winner chicken dinner here, just because also if you missed out on the ambush, this is like your replacement, and then this just is just going to go with everything. So that's if I was going to go for one for resale purposes, I'd probably go with that one. Although the red one seems like it's getting a lot of hype, even though it was sort of just out last year, like you said, Lawrence. But those two seem to be the ones.
Yeah. I don't know. This blue one with like this one has like with the yellow hit on the tongue, kind of reminds me of like it's another like kind of Homer homage to the SBs. I like that a lot, and that UNC color is nice too. That's probably my favorite.
What I will say is Nike is definitely the masters of continuing the hype. Hopefully, with 5 pairs releasing, there is some obtainability for people, because this has been something that everyone's been complaining about in 2020, where it's like you cannot grab a Dunk for retail. And I was actually on Nike Talk maybe a couple weeks ago, and someone had asked, they just was like, that now 2020 is closing, they want to see what were people's retail hits on Dunks, and I mean, people were literally like, I got nothing for retail. I got nothing.
Wow.
Like, I had to pay resale, and I think that's something that hopefully with 5 pairs releasing, hopefully we do see some people hit, on retail for it. These are, your standard general Dunks. I definitely want to see people win.
Yeah, for sure. This should be a win culture, not a lose culture,
It should be, but I mean that's something I think that also, we got to change in 2021. We got to Nike sneakers and retail, like there should not be. I mean, granted, I understand there's more demand than product, but people should not be 0 for 50 on sneakers for the year. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, and we also shouldn't be looking for like the hottest bootlegs in order to fulfill that craving. You know what I mean? Like I think that's why 2020 was a big. I mean, Warren Lotus, of course, was obviously like a huge controversial thing, but because that was a catalyst for everyone to talk about the other bootlegs, and those became like this like weird cultural phenomenon where it was like kind of cool, but it kind of wasn't. But it was basically because we couldn't get the shoes we wanted. That was the whole problem.
Right, and we're starting to see kind of the market flood with the Dunks, but not only with that, like we're starting to see other brands kind of emerge as like new kind of hype, like mediums, I guess, like hype mobiles. When you got like you got New Balance just putting out the 550s, like we got announced that there's gonna be like a bunch of 550 colorways this year.
Mm-hmm.
We have we have what's going on over at Adidas with the Yeezy stuff. So there's constantly like there's like new engines coming in where basically Nike's not going to be the like only game in town in 2021, where I think that the attitude might start shifting because people are talking about it. People are kind of like, I am sick of all of this bullshit that we're going through. And hopefully if the attitude kind of changes and there's more Dunks coming out and like there's more releases coming out, we'll see resale prices drop where it's not even going to be worth it. Kind of like what we're seeing with the PlayStation 5s, where it's not even worth it to even try to resell them anymore because everybody's like, we're going to get more,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not a that's a limited quantity, but it's not a limited release. Like they're going to keep making PS5s.
Right. So we're definitely seeing a little bit of an attitude change.
Yeah. No, keep going, Luke. Go.
And also like we're seeing, our number one favorite bootleg brand that everybody loves to talk about, Bape, coming up with their own versions of Jordans and skate shoes.
But are we calling Bape's bootlegs though? Like, because Bape has been like, it's not like to me, it's not like a Warren Lotus type of situation, like where Nike's like like Bape has been around,
right?
For years, where it hasn't been, Nike hasn't been like, we're gonna sue the fuck out of Bape, you know what I'm saying? And now Bape is, to me, like they're like, fuck it, we're just gonna create a Jordan 1 model. We're gonna create a Dunk looking model.
Yeah,
it was always Air Force Ones.
I honestly believe going forward that this Dunk Air Force One shit in Jordan 1 is like going to be referenced with like counterfeiting stuff moving forward. Once like this becomes like normalized and okay, and we're not like in shock and they fully get away with it, it's going to be so hard to argue like like I don't even know how to describe like doing what Lauren Lotus did.
Right. Where you kind of do like this off-brand, not really Nike, not really Bape kind of thing, right?
Yeah, because how are you going to say no when you have all these examples of people getting away with it?
Yeah, it's honestly the only thing that's holding, the only thing, because like what Lauren said is true. It's the history behind Bape is what's holding, like kind of holding the whole thing together.
Yeah.
Because they've kind of been known for like even if you look at like close up on these, because like I'm looking at the Courtstas right now, which are basically an Air Jordan 1 in like kind of that shadow colorway. But the biggest takeaway is that they have like the kind of the ABC camo engraving throughout the entire sneaker, which is interesting. It's enough for me to go, yeah, this is a different sneaker. This is Bape putting their own twist on the Jordan 1. I'm okay with that. You know, I think that's enough of a difference where they'll get away with it legally, and also it's just it's good. I can't wait for it. I'm gonna try to get a pair.
I'm a little aged out of this, but I respect the move. Lawrence, I don't know how you feel. I can only wear Bape when there's age appropriate things attached to it now.
I don't know, man, because you remember you were there for it. You were there for all of this.
I was.
So I feel like you're fine. If you wanted to get a pair, you're more than able to.
I could. I mean, I referenced this on another episode, but like wearing the Bapestas was the flex because everyone knew they were the same shoe as an Air Force One, but they were just $200 more, right?
Right.
That flex is different now.
Yeah.
It's not the same, especially with these colors. Mm-hmm. Actually, wait, go, Lawrence.
No. Go ahead, Chris. Finish your thought, man.
No, because what I was going to say, like, because before we were also getting Bapestas in colors that Nike would never do. Like the color blocking on Bapestas was so young and loud that like that was also its own separate flex where it's just like, oh, those are not Air Force Ones. Like from a distance, you didn't even need to see the star. With these are literally, like you said, like the shadows. You know what I mean? And Lawrence, I don't know where you were going to go with your point, but I'm sure you can kind of contest with me that like I'd rather wear the shadows than these.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is, and I just remember that Bape was doing things that, like you said, Nike would not do. And in terms of colorways, in terms of materials, I mean, patent leather, there was certain, and I think there was more of an acceptance of wearing Bape sneakers because, like you said, Chris, I mean, I think I was paying probably like $200 for a pair of Bapes in 2004. 2005, I just remember lining up at the Bape store on a Saturday morning for Bapes. And I can remember when they did a collab with X-Men, they had like the Invisible, they had Cyclops and they had all these different.
Yep.
And I just remember like being so excited to get a pair of Bapes. And I think that kind of like changed to me like in like 3-4 years later where it became like it was like, okay, that Bape wave to me was over. And I don't know if in 2021 I feel the same. I do agree with you on that where it's like I like them, but I don't know if it's something that Lawrence Deloach is going to say, yeah, I need a fucking pair of Bape Dunks.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Whereas in 2005 I'm like, oh shit, like I gotta have these. I have to, like, what I mean? And I think that's where Chris, I understand what you're saying with it's age appropriate. I'm not, I do get what you're saying, but at the same time, those gray and purple Bape Dunks are fucking flames to me.
Yeah. So you know what? I'll level with you, Luke.
Yeah.
If they do these actually, because the piping on these is crazy. So we're still looking at different Bape models.
The one that I'm looking at right now is the Courtsta. The one I pulled up right now is the Skatesta, which is the other model that they're putting out, which I believe is a re-release, actually.
So what I'll tell you is, like, if they pay homage to the old Bapesta colorways, I think that's a way for me to go, yeah, I could do that. Like, So if they're gonna do the Quartsta or the Skatesta in like, you know, one like the first colorway as they did of
Well, I'm seeing the Kanye colors on one of these Skatestas already.
Yes, you are, and I did not notice those before.
Yeah, dude. If I get to see Skatestas with the Kanye Bear colorways, yeah, I'm gonna get those immediately, obviously. The other thing is just like it's still Bape is still like that counterculture because Gentry refuses to give us the shoes that we want. He's not gonna give us the original Michael Jordan shoes.
Yo, why are you stealing Lawrence's quotes right now?
I'm
Nah,
just
he ain't stealing, but I agree with you on that. But I don't know. I think they're just like these have a different audience, a different core of people that go for Bapes versus Nikes at this point. And I think, and
It's
I
true.
but
I agree with you on that. The audience is much different than it used to be.
it was, you know what's funny, because I don't always say that rappers are the trendsetters, but at times they definitely can be. And when Bape was like piping hot, motherfuckers was wearing Bape sneakers left and right. You saw Kanye, you saw Pharrell, you saw you saw Lil Wayne, the Clips, you saw all these rappers and influential people wearing Bape, and it was like, oh man, I gotta have Bape. And now we're 15 years later, and what influential rapper is wearing Bape?
Right.
Like, even to the point, what influential NBA player, everyone who has some sort of influence either has their own deal with like Adidas or, obviously, Jordan, Nike. So Bape isn't as hot as it once was. But at the same time, go ahead.
No, you go. Finish your thought.
At the same time, I definitely, I feel like Bape was built and designed on taking what Nike did and doing their own thing, and somehow got away with it. No lawsuits. No, we all looked at it like, God damn, this is a fucking carbon copy of a Air Force One. But even today, it's like, oh, they doing a Jordan 1. Okay, they're doing a Dunk. All right, well, whatever, I guess,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I was gonna mention, because you mentioned that nobody's wearing it anymore, and I don't know if you guys saw, just as a quick side note, the Drink Champs that Pharrell did. They asked him like, "Yo, why don't you wear Bape anymore?" And he was like, "Oh, because my friend sold it."
Yeah,
like
Nigo sold it.
Yeah, Nigo. He was like, "I'm not wearing that shit if my friend's not running that."
He'll still wear Human Made though.
Yeah, because that's Nigo.
Nigo's brand. Nigo's like doing his own stuff right now, which as start talking about 2021 stuff. I'm trying to see what he has in store for Human Made.
Yeah,
which that's also, and you know what? And I was gonna admit, that's also a huge thing, bro. Nigo isn't behind it anymore. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like when Nigo was there, like you said, it definitely had a different feel, a little bit more coolness to it. But also, it was just a different era type of thing. I mean, you look at that era, there was, I forgot they were a skate shoe that everyone used to wear. Started with an S, I believe. Not Supras.
Oh,
Supras.
I remember.
Yeah, wow, shit. I didn't know where you were going with that.
But what I'm saying is that era, there was a G. I mean, we're talking when Bapes were hot. It was Bape, G-Shock, Supras, even the shits Kanye used to wear, the Atu Matasamos or some, Ato Mosusamis or some shit. I remember I was fucking
the Kawasaki Suzumis, yes.
But you know what but I'm just saying there was a different, and I think now we're in that era of just, if you want to have the quote unquote status shit as a streetwear footwear, you're gonna have some like dope Nikes.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy though too. So the Supra era and the Bape era overlap because of Lil Wayne.
Yes.
So it does go back to whatever because that at that point Lil Wayne was smoking hot. Like, dude, there was nobody that could touch him. And arguably a lot of the songs like weren't that great. He was just so hot. Similarly, the way Travis is now, right? So you can see the parallel of just like people, whatever that dude's wearing, and that's what's going to happen. Because that's the only way, Lawrence. I never even thought you would even know the name Supra.
Dude, I had Supers. I mean, I used to get into clubs wearing Supers, bro.
Yeah.
Like
That's crazy.
that's how, yeah, bro. Like it was a big thing. Like, but what I'm saying is that era that you like you said, where from like oh 03 to oh 07 or oh 06, Bapes were like so hot, and then like you said, oh 07 through oh 09 or whatever, Supers were like the thing.
Yeah.
And once again, I mean, Bape is still here, but it stood the test of time, yes. But I mean, you're not gonna be like, oh shit, like I gotta, I would never stand online. I mean, and granted, the last time I even have been to the Bape shop, I think was in 2016 when they did the Bape NMD collab. But I think that was because Bape and Adidas was like fucking hot as fish grease. And but other than that, dude, no, I mean, but I'm just saying, like it was. So I don't know. I like them, but yeah, let's definitely I don't know, temper expectations on those shits.
Yeah, I want to see what they do with them. If they do some like homage shit to the old shit, I might get away with it. But also, like, I'm kind of with Pharrell, and I'll go with Human Made. But it depends. I don't know. I don't really want to commit one way or another.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing a shadow colorway. I mean, goddamn, I'm sure they're gonna fucking hit us with a Chicago colorway.
Oh, dude,
Chicago.
And if they do some like deconstructed version where it's like the Virgil Abloh Bape Chicago, I'm gonna lose it. I'm just gonna be like, what's happening here? Can we have an original idea at some point? Because like this is getting out of hand.
Can you sue them? Yes, that's what I'm saying. So what else we got going on, fellas? What else we got?
Well, I was gonna say, off the back of Nike too. I don't know if you guys saw this tweet, and I don't know how true it is. Just people like doing their own shit based off Nikes. I mean, there was a tweet about Kobe Bryant. He wanted to leave a few weeks. He said this to somebody a few weeks before he passed. He wanted to leave Nike and start his own company called Mamba, where I guess it would be like a player-owned, sort of kind of like what Ewing tried to do, maybe along with like Shaq and any of the other guys like Starbury that stepped away from their generic deals that you can get with these companies and start your own. Mm-hmm. This guy's saying it was gonna eclipse his sports career, but I don't think this guy remembers how he played, because that's hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could argue that the Jordan brand still didn't overtake what Jordan did on the court. You know what I mean? So that's a bold ass statement, but I also just hate when somebody says something after someone's died. That it's so annoying. Like, just let it go, dude. It didn't happen. Like, you don't need to speculate. Like, you don't know what was going through his mind at the time. You don't know what was whatever. But anyway, I just want to hear you guys' thoughts on maybe what you thought what was going on here.
I don't know, man. It's yeah, I would have liked to see it. I don't, there's not really much we could do with it, right? It's just a sad piece of information.
Yeah, because it's like, was he gonna like redo Kobe's?
Oh yeah, probably.
Would he have made the tweaks maybe he would have at, like, with his brain and like how he played basketball with like, oh, maybe we gotta make the heel like this. I don't know. It's just such a weird thought.
Been more of a contracting thing, like how players are paid out. I think it would have just been different, and I think it would have just helped the players a little bit more.
Well, first, I just want to say, rest in peace, Black Mamba. This is
yes, rest in peace.
We're literally 3 weeks away from the horrible anniversary of his death, which is so crazy to me how fast time flies. But it to me, I hate when people, like you said, I hate when people do that, where they, like you said, oh, he was gonna do this. We don't know. You hear it so often with so many amazing influential people who have passed away. I hear it with Biggie all the time. Biggie was gonna leave Bad Boy and start, and he was gonna do this, and and Pac was gonna do this, and you don't know.
Yeah.
What I will say is, unfortunately, we do hear this so often with Nike, where people do complain about, we hear it with Kanye and Lorenzo and all these guys who have worked with Nike. that sometimes they it is the greatest of business deals or whatever. It doesn't make them happy. But who's to say that I mean, people take meetings all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? People take pitch meetings. But do we know if Kobe was going to truly leave? No. Granted, his line, prior to his death, it wasn't. I mean, I remember Pro Tros were sitting in Foot Lockers, prior to his death.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Maybe he wasn't happy with the way he was being marketed as a Nike athlete. But with that being said, I still think, I still think, once again, I don't know, but I think Kobe probably, he probably would have stuck it out with the swoosh. I just feel that
Yeah, let's
a
not
lot
forget
of,
a lot of the time.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead, finish.
I mean, remember what happened in Colorado with him. You remember he kind of, it took him a little time to get his own model again. Once that Colorado incident took place in I think 03 to 2003 or whatever, he didn't get it. Remember, he didn't get his own Kobe model until I think 2006, a couple years later. And what I'm saying is, he built a big legacy with that brand. And I'm not saying that, it's possible for him to leave. Yeah, it is. But I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like stuff like this, a lot of it, and I hate to say it, sometimes whoever leaked that, it probably leaked it on some, all right, we can get our brand, people to look at our brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there was that see, I don't know if these are fake or real. I'm just not going to take screenshots seriously anymore, especially after this year. But he said there was that meeting, and then he had the screenshot of the supposed shoe.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard, especially because Kobe's had some misses as far as shoes, especially I think the famous one is the Toaster with the Adidas. You know what I mean? So looking at this doesn't even look like a good shoe. You know what I mean? I could make this in an hour, and then just as this guy is verified. You know what I mean? He's he makes a fake meeting posts that and goes he was going to leave Nike that. I mean, people will believe it, but I don't know, man.
Also, don't forget a lot of these, that's kind of how you do business in Hollywood. And when you're dealing with a lot of money is sometimes you'll pretend that you're doing this other project. You'll say you're doing this other project and then you'll bring it to Nike and say hey, just give me my own, maybe instead of a Kobe shoe, just give me a Mamba shoe and give me my own Mamba line. A lot of times this is just a bargaining chip so they could get what they want with the company that they're at.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that was another thought that came past my mind is it could be all bullshit.
Yeah, but also the other thing too is how do we think Nike wouldn't just give him his own line? He's such a monster force.
His shoes were sitting on the shelf, remember?
Yes. No, but I mean, as a legacy player after he retired, there's no way I would imagine that Kobe would go to Nike and go yo, let me get my own line. At least start small. You know what I mean? I can't imagine a world where they would say no.
Oh, here's my thing. How many retired players still have a line with Nike, if that makes sense? Who still have, sneakers being Kobe and Jordan.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone else is active. Everyone else that's a Nike guy is active. LeBron, Paul George, you know what I'm saying? Giannis, all those. So it was still Kobe and Jordan. Those two guys were the only ones having their retros. Barkley, to a certain extent, he still has his retros every now and again. But there's still
the classic bangers we're getting through. Yeah, but for the most part.
But for the most part, it's Jordan. It was Jordan and Kobe. And I still think that yes. I think that with the exception of Michael Jordan, and we're always going to say this, none of those Nike guys have sneakers that people are using as lifestyle sneakers. So unfortunately, a Kobe, a LeBron sneaker, they're for hooping, they're for basketball.
Yeah.
So I think what we'll see a lot of is those Kobe's were sitting. Yes, unfortunately, I like I said, I remember going to the Foot Locker, seeing Pro Tros just sitting until his untimely death. But for this guy to say that Kobe was going to leave, I think it's in poor taste to me. I feel like it's just it's a ploy for them to get some fucking marketing, whatever his company is, whatever. And I think that, you know, we need to kind of take it for what it is, a grain of salt, because we don't know what was going to happen. And I think we just need to, I mean, what needs to happen right now, because, you know, obviously Kobe and Nike still have some, you know, Vanessa still have some type of partnership, is we just need to see in 2021 more Kobe's being produced so people can actually get them that truly want them.
Yeah. I was going to say too, because just jumping off of what, you know, the whole conversation, what you just said, Al, about like companies trying to capitalize. Rest in peace, MF Doom. I can't imagine how many Doom masks are going to sell this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, man.
Even just for people to hang them on the wall. You know what I mean? Like MF Doom was such a weird style icon because he was like one of the, arguably the first black nerd rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, up there for sure.
And he also had such a unique style and in rapping and in clothing that I remember, and then also one of the most iconic dunks.
Yes.
Just because that dunk was just so random. Maybe because I got hit late with it. Like that whole thing, I was just like, MF Doom got a dunk. I saw it on foot for the first time. I didn't even see it on the blogs, I think. Yeah, just like all the pillars are going. 2020 snuck another one in on us with him, man. That one, like,
yeah, that one was
really hard.
Oof.
I'll say this. I have a personal story about MF. I actually just texted you guys a picture of me in my MF Dooms.
Oh shit!
Back in 2008.
Wow.
Well, that's this is the podcast cover now.
This is that's the cover of the episode. No, I was I just remember being excited for the MF Doom dunks, and I think it was like July or August 2007, and I can remember waiting online overnight for a pair of these in Rochester. I finally get there, skate shop, you know, I'm a size 12. He's like, we don't have a 12. We didn't get a 12 in the allotment. We got 11 and a half. He wanted 11 and a half. And I was like, fuck it. I took the 11 and a half and I wore them. And when I got back to New York and back to New York City in 2011, I used to wear my dunks all the time. I used to wear my MF Dooms, Hawaii's, Mork and Mindy's. I would wear all these shits. And I remember there was a comic that I was like really good friends with. And he asked me, like he loved them so much, and I remember I was like, you know, Lawrence, or he asked me if he can have them, and normally I don't give my sneakers to anyone, but he was like, I don't have any sneakers, you know, I really want that, and I gave them to him, and looking back on it, you know, I was like, yeah, I did a nice thing, but I was like, fuck, I wish I didn't, because I gave away a few of my sneakers to people, and because we had a falling out, you know, you just learn that, you know, people aren't really your friends, and I kind of just wish, I got mad at myself for giving them out. And even though, you know, if they were a size 12, I think I wouldn't have, but the moral of the story here is, like, if anyone asks you for sneakers, like, tell them to suck your dick, basically. And like, yeah, I'm not giving you shit. Because I look back and I'm like upset at myself for giving away those sneakers. And the Mork and Mindy's and the Hawaii's. And we saw, and as we saw in 2020, we saw a resurgence with dunks in 2019, 2020, and we saw Kylie Jenner wear these.
Yeah.
Which already shot the value up on the secondary market. But and now with his death, just like, you know, Kobe's death, and, you know, and the price on these are insane.
So they're up 83% from the Kylie Jenner spike, which was already at like $2,000. So you can see a consistent like 400 price tag, which even back in now we're going back to like 2013, some of these stats. That's very fair for what that shoe was at the time and the resale price.
Right.
This was a grail before grails were grailing.
Yeah.
Like the weird culture that MF Doom had around him, for him to get a dunk, and then it's similarly to what the Grateful Dead heads were doing, like when the those dunks came out. You know what I mean? But this was
Mhm.
before hype, drip, flex culture. I hate that I just said that. Before all this was what it is. Like when Hypebeast had the old logo and actually told you things you could buy, like
Mhm.
that was a high resale and a very respected shoe. Now, like this has just gotten out of hand.
Yeah. Well, also it's just like they're just never gonna make another pair of these, man.
Never,
Mhm. Mhm.
never,
Mhm.
ever, ever. Rest in peace, MF Doom. You know, damn, they really snuck in another one. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, when we found out, because we found out at New Year's Eve, basically, right?
Yeah.
We found it on New Year's Eve. Yep.
We found out on New Year's Eve that he passed away in October.
Mm-hmm.
His wife kept it a secret from us all, because she wanted us to have a good rest of the year, and then said, "Hey, by the way, this happened."
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're like trying to petition, and by petition I mean we're just gonna make this like a street holiday. That October 31st is MF Doom Day.
Mhm.
October 30th.
30th. It was like something towards the end of October, if I don't remember the date correctly, but
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
that Doom do you know how many MF Dooms are gonna be Halloween?
This next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It damn man, just I get mad at myself for it because I'm like, but at the same time you try to do something nice and I still think about it because I'm like, I don't even fucking talk to that comic anymore.
Yeah,
Like, we was like,
You got the good karma. It came out somewhere.
yeah, it
Yeah.
came out. I mean, yeah, but it's like, damn, like you look back on
No,
that
that's
era.
pretty dumb. I'm not gonna say it isn't. It's pretty dumb.
Yeah, it was, at the same time, it's just you looking out for someone. But and it's funny, like I gave a few sneakers to people throughout the years, like, and I'm talking about 9, 10 years ago, and I still see them wearing those sneakers. So it's like I'm happy that some people made it, like
Yeah.
it helped, what I'm saying, but yeah, dude, that's one of those things. But I think rest in peace, just to like a truly underrated rapper.
Yes.
And it just goes to show you that this no one's invincible. We're all gonna pass away, and it's like, what legacy and what mark do you just want to leave on the world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Positivity, stay positive, test negative, that's it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, going from here on a lighter note, talking about legacies, I mentioned before, Reebok's trying to sell.
Yeah.
It's a legacy brand. It's an unarguable legacy brand. I mean, they haven't really done much correct in the past like 15 years, but I mean, like you're talking early 90s, late, early 2000s, that era, Reebok was a contender for being the best brand. 89, I probably was like the peak and then dwindled down slowly. But now Master P and Baron Davis are looking to possibly purchase this brand in the most unorthodox put together.
Oh yeah. Who knows,
Yo.
man? It could be like peanut butter and chocolate. It might end up being good together.
Yo, I get Baron Davis because like he played basketball and he wore like Master P wanting to buy Reebok is kind of wild to me. Do you guys have thoughts on this? We don't need to stay on it long because there's not like really any news. This is more like a rumor than it is anything.
I tell you that I didn't see it coming.
I don't think anybody saw this coming. El, what do you think?
Yo, Master P is always looking to invest and come up, and I don't mind it. I mean, I don't mind Master P. I don't mind it. P is he's fucking rap legend. He's a fucking businessman, bro. Baron Davis is a little shocking, but listen, I'm all for black guys fucking doing anything business wise, financially. So if they can get it together and acquire and Reebok, then fuck it, let's do it.
How are you more shocked at Baron Davis than Master P?
Because Master P is like a fucking, he's a business guy, bro. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't understand, bro. Like like what was it? Like No Limit, bro. Like
Yes.
you understand what I'm saying? Like all that, like like him being independent, like the way he kind of broke into, you know what I'm saying? Like it was very smart in a time that not many, like, everyone wanted to go like on a major, bro. So you go on a major label and P is doing this shit out the trunk of his car. Like that's some business sense, bro. Even P, like fucking, with the NBA, like him trying to play it, like all these business ventures that he's done throughout the over the last 30 years, bro. And so I'm not shocked with that. I am more shocked at Baron Davis, but I like I said, I love to see, Baron Davis was an NBA All-Star. He was a solid player. He's made a lot of money throughout the course of his career.
Most
So
recently featured in the Sneakerheads TV show.
that there you go. I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't know if that's an accomplishment. Or,
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my God.
I didn't forget.
That is not an accomplishment.
No. But it's a credit.
Okay, Luke. All right. It's a credit. Yeah, him and Lawrence are both going to be at Montreal next year. You're right.
See if we get the vaccine in time for everyone to get it, so we can fucking go to Montreal.
Yeah.
But no, I think I'm excited for that, man, and hopefully, Chris, you're a big Bach boy.
I am.
And so I hope that this is everything you've ever envisioned and wanted in your life.
Yes. Yeah. Baron Davis wearing some Sean Kemp's is exactly my my vision I've always wanted. I mean, I don't know how it's really not that hard. We see it work with Nike, not so much Adidas, but the retro business is the main business. And Reebok has just as many good well, actually, hold on, I'll take that back. Reebok has arguably a good amount of retros that they could just crank out, give to everybody, and have steady sales. Like this whole shit where they tried to make it like a CrossFit Tough Mudder brand, tanked the whole shit. They stopped embracing pump culture, I guess.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, if they just embraced pump culture, they'd be fine.
I think we need Chris in a boardroom meeting with the owners of Reebok right now.
Me, Master P, Baron Davis, and Allen Iverson. Okay, actually, you know what, Lawrence, you're right. This is my dream. This is my dream.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I could get Master P, Baron Davis, and Allen Iverson in a room just to hear my ideas, I'd be the happiest person that ever existed.
We got to do more pumps. Pause. Pumps. Pause.
We have to pump. Pause.
Pump the pumps, dog. Pause.
Just Pump It Up is playing in the background, and Joe Budden has to be there. Lawrence, it has to be me and Joe Budden. We get in a meeting, we talk to each other like, all right, where do you think we should take Reebok, and then we present while Pump It Up is playing. And then what was that other pump song? All the kids wear pumped up kick. That has to be there. That band has to be in the corner for no reason.
People, the white kids in the corner.
Yeah, they're just there for no reason.
By the way, that song's about a school shooter. You know that, right?
Look, Doug, we're pumping up kicks and we're pumping it up hard.
Pumped up kicks in the corner.
Sorry.
I love it. Okay.
Yo, Lawrence.
He's upset with you.
I'm not upset. I'm just not shocked.
I know I went too far, and when I see Lawrence's face just going like, I'm just gonna wait till it's over. He always looks down and goes, I'll just wait.
We need to ask all of our listeners and fucking the Discord what's Chris's approval rating, like on the what's people's approval rating of Chris, like out of all three of us, like
no. Well, actually, you can kind of do that on the Discord. You can pick your own role to say which host you like the most. Mine's Hyenas, yours is Old Head, and Luke's is French Guys.
Yeah, French Guys.
So anyone that picks that role means that you like that person arguably the best.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We need to do that. We need to see if we can get approval ratings, you know what I'm saying, right now for our hosts. So for the listeners out there, let us know. Let us know who you like, who you want to hang out with.
If it's bad, just let Lawrence and Luke know. But if it's good, just tell me. That's it.
Just tell Chris. Chris, you're a designer. You're
am.
and this is more your world, but actually this is a world for all of us in fashion. And that what the 2021 Pantone colors have been
Yes,
revealed.
universal gray and illumination,
Hmm.
I believe.
What does this mean?
This
Explain, Chris.
means, yeah, this basically means that Pantone, which is the universal color picking system, and not to design nerd out, but every screen is like considered different. Like people have like settings that they could change on their shit, so like every color is going to read different on every screen. So Pantone's the universal system where they go, all right, you picked this Pantone, well, that's the color, so everybody can not have a different color shit.
So it's like how like number 0000 is black, like that. Are they the guys who decide that?
I think you're talking about hex colors.
Okay, yeah.
Which hex colors is Pantone uses hex colors. Pantone uses everything. It's literally the universal system of picking colors.
Okay.
So you can give Pantone a hex color, like you're saying, and they'll give you a Pantone in which then you could tell a factory, this is the color to use. You know what I mean?
Ah, got you.
Hmm.
So every year Pantone picks a color or two colors in this instance where they say this is the colors of the year. And basically, they kind of based on, I don't want to say like trends, but like they do sort of like try to help mold the future of what colors to use.
Uh-huh.
So this year they picked a gray and a yellow. So the images you're seeing on screen for those watching on YouTube, I guess is like what they're like applications of the color. I'm not exactly sure because they kind of look different everywhere. But yeah, I mean, every year they just do that.
That's weird. Okay, a little ballsy on them to just call a color at the beginning of the year and say that's color of the year. We can't do that with sneakers. We can't just be like replacement dunks by Warren Lotus. Those are the shoe of the year. Can't do that.
We should start doing that. And I think you just did it.
I did.
You just fucking did it, Luke.
Look at me.
No, it does sort of help, like, well, it helps collabs, one, because like you could do a Pantone collab, right? And you already know what the color it's going to be. You know what I mean? So that could be like consecutive series. But it also does help, like, at least for me, like my instance, I'm going like, okay, so yellow is going to be a hot color. Gray is going to be a hot color. Gray is a hot color is kind of weird. I think that's why they did two. Because also yellow is kind of like a strong color to just like blatantly use everywhere. Back to like my banana shoe kind of comments. But it does help me go like, all right, let me see what I can do with yellow. You know what I mean? It helps me go in a direction personally.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically that's it, I guess.
Cool.
So if you create a collab, Chris, with other brands or whatever you do, then that yellow there's a good chance it may be used, or it's because of the color of the year type shit, or no?
Yeah, like I'll pull it up. I'll be like, oh, let me check out what's good with that yellow. You know what I mean? Because that also leads you to like other brands are going to use it. Other companies are going to try to use that for whatever. You know what I mean? So like it kind of sets like a tone for the year, just like aesthetically, color wise.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when you found this news out, did you change the color of your room to that yellow?
No, there is video evidence of my back room. Luke, you fucking suck.
I'm just asking questions here, man.
No, but I might change it to the universal gray to switch it up, you know?
Yeah. You could. I've got the gray background. I think they listen. I'm not saying
so does
go from us again.
Wow. You are Pantone stole the colors of the year from our backdrops in our rooms. Yes.
Our backdrop in our rooms.
Tracy's living room, your bedroom, and my bedroom.
That is correct.
That is correct.
They take that very serious though. When I've done,
oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yo, I've had to sign crazy NDAs, not letting people know I knew what the thing was.
That's great.
Like
yeah, because
no, yeah, go.
No, I was gonna say no. Go ahead, you go, Chris.
Yeah, just because like they really do like set that, they lock that up. They think that this is going to help move the whole year. You know what I mean? And them being like literally the universal coloring system for everybody to use, like it's a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
I know Tracy was telling me that they have like lipstick they design like lipstick and makeup and shit like that to fit the Pantone colors and shit like that. So it's like it's deep, it's deeper than you and like you said, it's known and it's like done to drive shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's done to drive shit in 2021. So
basically they have almost like a Supreme type business with accessories. Like you put Pantone on anything with a color, and they also name every color. So every hex code you can think of, like Luke, going back to your reference, like every lab color, someone has named all that shit.
Okay. I'm trying to think of a funny color name that I have to yell at them about.
Oh, I have a favorite color that I think is very funny because there's a navy, the Yankee navy.
Yes.
Which I believe is Pantone 289C.
You nerd.
You fucking nerd.
Its name is Pageant Blue.
Okay.
So every time I use it, I just like to think of every Yankee player in a beauty pageant. Whereas the Bucky guy's going, fuck out of here. Never forget, but forget about it. And there's like, oh, this guy's pretty.
Oh,
okay.
So silly.
I wonder if that helped my approval rating.
It might have. It probably didn't.
I think we're kind of close to the dismount here. Luke, I do want to bring up, just because it so conveniently translates from last week's episode of your Gucci Doraemon podcast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is kind of huge.
Yeah, your merch dropped.
Part. Yeah. So, for the listeners who weren't in last week, I was talking heavily about the Doraemon collaboration with Nike, and then we were talking about how Gucci's basically going to start their own podcast, and I was going to be the head of it, and I'm going to leave this podcast behind. And boom, what did you know? Gucci was like, "Hey, Luke, we hear you. We really want you on this podcast, so we made a bunch of anime merch for you." And boy, am I happy to see it, because none of it is that great. I gotta be honest with you. It's pretty lame.
Yeah, these stink.
Look at this. This is, I'm not going to say it's wearable, but okay, let me talk to the Gucci agent real quick. And you make this less garbage.
For those, YouTube audience, you should just watch us on YouTube, because the visual bits we're doing are pretty great. Luke just asked the Gucci online customer service to make the Doraemon Gucci collab less garbage.
All right.
Oh, that was very funny.
Thank you for indulging me in that, boys. It's been a lot of fun doing this podcast with you, but Gucci's calling, and when Gucci calls, you gotta layer up and take their call.
Gotta layer up and take the call. We're just gonna make Lawrence's new nose piercing the third mic. I think that's appropriate.
Don't talk shit about the nose piercing. For the listeners out there, yeah, I did get my nose pierced. It's fucking 2021, a pandemic. Why not? What's next?
Oh, I love it. I love it. But yeah, I guess we could wrap that here, unless you guys have any final thoughts.
No, that's all from me.
Nah, I think I'm Gucci, man. Oh, damn, I use that. Yo, rest in peace, yo, for all you New York City listeners out there, yo. The fucking McDonald's on West 4th closed. And if you've ever been to Manhattan on a drunk night, you drink and you party and you've been to that McDonald's. I've been there so many times after bad shows that I had where I bombed, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna eat some McNuggets and then at the same time see a fight. One of the greatest fights I think ever recorded went down at, I don't know if you guys remember, but I think it was a lesbian couple. They had gotten into a fight with one of the employees. I think they jumped over the counter and hit him, and he fucking went ate shit on them. And you know, I've just seen there's been so many memories, and as stand-up comics in New York City, I think it's everyone has been that performs in that area or hangs out has been there at night. And yeah, just rest in peace that McDonald's, you know.
Yeah. For the listeners, just so you have more of a context, there's like 6 comedy rooms just in that like one little area.
Mm-hmm.
And it ranges from like, you know, there's one room that's kind of off on Bleecker where like they kind of let anybody go up to the Comedy Cellar. So like when pre-pandemic at any given night, there was probably all range of comic there. And then also like eating at that McDonald's.
Yeah, just eating at that McDonald's. The you know the drunk people that you would encounter there, you know, you would, you know, just going to that McDonald's, you could see a 23-year-old chick just crying, you know, her shoes off because she's had a rough night. You know, the drunk girl squad, the drunk dudes who are ready to fight, you know, the workers who are ready to fight. Like motherfuckers is like, you can't use the bathroom because they lock it off because they know, you know, bad things are gonna happen. And you know, it just goes to show you that with this pandemic, that, you know, stuff that we took for granted in New York, and when things reopen, it's gonna be a completely different New York City. So rest in peace, that McDonald's.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it. Follow us, Sub Podcast NYC on Instagram, at Not That Cheney, at LZD325, at Trevisus, at 3Meanie, our producer. He's going to be in and out. You know, I mean, we're figuring out the schedule. But that's it, guys. We'll talk to you next week. And until then, what did I say earlier? Stay positive, test negative. All right, peace.